Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Well, we're going to move away from the hustle bustle of my vacation and parts 1, 2, and 3 of that fountain pen vacation, the ultimate vacation that I propose to you, that is being aired as we present this particular video and present you and go back to our regular pattern, which is to provide you with some reviews of some new pens that have come to my possession and that I've purchased and that I would like to share with you to see if you are bargaining, or if you're looking for something similar, or if you've seen it and wondering whether or not it's worth purchase. Here it is. Today I propose to you a pen from what I would say is my favorite Indian manufacturer of fountain pens. I declared Ranga Pens to be the best Indian pen maker last year for 2023. We'll see what happens this year. I know Lotus is giving them some run for their money, and so is Magna Carta. But having said that, I mean, Ranga Pens and will continue to provide me with excellent writing instruments of different kinds. As you know, they started with ebonite. That's their bread and butter. Then they've moved to acrylic. They have regular ebonite, premium ebonite. Then they have acrylic, premium acrylic. They've actually now producing a pen in solid brass. And yes, they're now proposing a pen in the Ultem material, which is this wonderful, I call it resin, but I know it's a funny type of plastic. I'm not a technician, but having said that, very nice yellow Ultem, very popular. And you know what? Let's take a look at the pen they're offering and the pen that I've purchased and see, is it up to scratch? Does it live up to the reputation, the excellent reputation of Ranga Pens? Well, stay tuned, folks. Okay, folks, so we're back with the pen. This is the box that he came into. I must say, Ranga Pens, their boxes are getting nicer and nicer over the years. Better quality, nicer colors, a variety in their pen boxes, which is very nice. They always come in, packaged with newspaper and with special linen that has been sewn with my address written by hand, which is always a great touch, I find. It's handmade. Craftsmen that are at this job, they do their best to earn a living, and you know what, I'm going to keep encouraging them not because I want to, not only because I want to, but because their pens are just worthy of mention. And hopefully this is one of those pens. So it comes in this box. Open it up. They always offer a cheapy pen. This is interesting. I'm going to ink it up, see what it works. It's kind of a push button hidden nib sort of a proposition, made out of plastic, but nonetheless very nice. A little tube there to ink the this pen, because this pen can be, as we will see, converter or eyedrop. So the eyedropper is provided, which is a nice touch. We've got the card with the two owners' names there printed on them. They're always willing to speak to me. They correspond with me. They send me special offers that they have over the internet, which I understand a lot of you have. Then there is this, I don't know what this is. I never, I have them in many, and I guess it's cloth of some sort. Or is it a piece of paper describing the pen? Let me just, for once I will look into it. Maybe I'll be surprised. Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, look at this. This is a handmade note. Well, you know what? Signed by Mr. Kanda and Mr. Pandurangan. Dear Vincent, Guido, sir, hope you are fine. We're extremely happy for your channel, Fountain Pen Therapy, getting more popular day by day. Thanks for your order. We are excited now to see your review of RANGA Model 3 Ultem pen in Fountain Pen Therapy. Big thanks again for wonderful service to global fountain pen community. We wish you great success for you and Fountain Pen Therapy channel. Regards. Isn't that nice? And you know what? I thought that what was in these sleeves was like kind of a linen, but it isn't. It's a handwritten letter. I'm going to go back to all my boxes and take a look at the letters. Isn't that impolite and silly of me not to have checked? Well, thank you very much, sirs. It's a pleasure. And you know what? I'm buying something that I think is worth the money that I'm paying, and I cherish your pens. Always liked them, and hopefully this one meets the standards that I'm expecting. So here it is. I chose it in the Model 3. What I like about this model is there's a nice heft, girth and size to this pen. And take a look at that brand new clip that now RANGA has. I chose it in the matte. You can finish it either, a regular shiny finish or a matte finish. And I chose to go with this in this matte silver with the RANGA name on it. I think it beats, if I could take a look, believe this is another Model 3 that I have in ebonite. That's used to be their nibs. And look, they've been replaced with this one. I think it's a great improvement. I think it is an extremely important improvement. So kudos to RANGA. The products are not only good at its origins, but they're getting better as we go along. So that's excellent. So here is the Ultem. As you know, this Ultem is a very highly resistant sort of a material. I like the way it feels, its warmth, and the way it feels in the hand. A very, very nice material. What I noticed also is that the color is affected slightly by the converter underneath. If, for example, I compare it to other Ultem pens that I have, we can see that there is a variety in the colors. This EDC version of the kind of is a little more translucent and transparent and a little yellower, I would say. This is, I believe, the Enso. This is the Enso. It's a similar color to RANGA, I would say, but there you have it. But this beats in terms of size. I really like the size of this pen. Really like it. Anyway, we will do a detailed comparison in a minute. So let's take a look at the pen itself. One feature I like are the two finials. Take a look at the beautiful finials, the way that Ultem in almost this honey color comes out. I think that's really, really, really nice. Same thing for the bottom finial. So you can see the two finials, very sharp. I got to tell you, this pen is going to be inked and used very, very often. I like the model. I like that new clip. Very functional, I think. A little stiff, but functional. Very well finished. I don't see any major concerns there at all. It opens up in, let's see, 1 turn, 1.5 turns, which is excellent. Now, I bought this pen without a nib. You can purchase it with either Yowo choice of nibs or a Bach, and I believe they may even have other types of nibs that vary from time to time. Or you can choose to purchase it, save some money, and without any nib section at all. Given that I have so many Bach and Yowo nib sections, I thought I'd save some money, and instead I had already ordered a fountain pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib with the Bach setting, if you will, because you're going to have it either in Bach or Yowo. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to get the Ranga without any nib, save a few dollars, and put those dollars to work and get that fountain pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib, which I've really been enjoying. I've put the chrome version of it. I've shown this to you many, many times on my Asvine V200, and it's just giving me hours of pleasure. And recently, Shaq MD kind of did a comparison between various Ultraflex nibs, including the Magna Carta and Mag 600, and has come to the conclusion that this fountain pen Revolution nib is really probably the best when you consider price, if you take price into consideration. I believe the nib section cost me roughly $81 plus shipping. That's all in Canadian. It comes with the entire nib section. And I did purchase one for this Asvine V200. And then I went ahead and purchased one that I know I could fit into this Ultem RANGA Model 3. And we'll see how it works out and how it writes in just I not inked it yet because I did want to show you the inside of this pen. It comes with a top-notch Schmidt converter, so amongst the best, if you will. And I think that when you remove the converter, because this thing can be eyedroppered, and I can see already a little bit of grease there to kind of seal it a little better, I find the color is sharper, isn't it? You can really get the sense of the color of that Ultem. Of course, when you go ahead and put some ink in there, well, then all of that goes to, it becomes a different story. But having said that, there you have it, with or without the converter. I'm going to try it. I'm going to ink this with the converter just because I don't want to, put too much ink in there for the time being. And hopefully that flex will give me the necessary flow with that converter that can feed this really juicy fountain pen Revolution Ultraflex nib. Very nice touch. You can tell right here that there is this section which seals the pen from drying, as Ranga always does. It's amongst the best pens that I have in terms of sealing the wetness and making sure they don't, your nibs don't dry up. Very good for that. I've never really had any flow or drying concerns with any of my Ranga pens, I've got to say. So kudos to them. So this is really sharp. In terms of size, you can tell it is a very nice sized pen. I have big hands and fits very well balanced. It's got a nice heft without being too heavy, and we'll take a look at some measurements in just a few seconds. Does it post? It does post, although I think it posts a little bit too long. But it's not back-weighted because even that cap is not overly heavy to the point where it becomes totally misaligned, or back heavy. You can still write with it fairly comfortable for those of you who do want to post the pen. So it's postable as well. There you have it. I think it's a nice addition to my collection and to my Ultem collection. And I'm really, really gung-ho about trying it with that Ultraflex nib. So there you have it. Now, what about a pen comparison? Well, I've taken out some pens here. I have a Lotus pen that you've seen before. And I have the Inso Ultem along with the EDC Ultem that I've reviewed in a special review that considered all of my Ultem collection at the time, including a Gravitas pocket pen, etc. And this, of course, I've put in, which is like the ebonite version of the Model 3 with the old style clip. As you can see, fairly nice size. This is a Opus 88 special edition. So as you know, the Opus 88 is a big pen, and my Model 3 is longer and probably just as girthy. So that gives you an idea of how big it is. If I remove this Ranga and replace it with my V200, as you can see, it's even bigger than my Asvine V200, so it is not at all a small pen. And if I replace the V200 with a Gioia Marichiaro Aleria, which I think is one of my bigger pens, although not as girthy, certainly longer than even my Gioia. So there you have it. This is the comparison of the pens capped. So here are the pens posted, and as you can see, they all post, except for my Enso, they all post fairly long posting, but postable, except for my Opus 88 special edition. This one does not post at all. Similarly, we all know that the Asvine V200 posts into and is helped by these two O-rings here. We know that. So there you have it. That's the comparison of the pens posted. Here are the pens uncapped and unposted. And as you can tell, the pen, the subject pen is right here, and it's longer than all of them. Longer than my Lotus, certainly longer than my Enso, longer than my EDC, which is smaller size pen, even longer, slightly longer anyway, than my Opus 88 and my Gioia Aleria. So again, this demonstrates that it's a good size, nice sized pen. Very nice. There you have it. So we'll take a look at some measurements, and then we'll get to that writing sample that I'm really, really anxious to take a look at, especially with that Ultraflex nib. Here you go. Okay, so we're back for the writing sample. First of all, the ink. The ink I've chosen to put into this pen is the Iroshizuku Shin-Ryoku. Nice green ink. You know, these inks are always well lubricated, very nice, always very wet. It's got that special indentation here for your nib when it's kind of running low. Beautiful bottles, amongst the most beautiful bottles, ink bottles that we have on the market. Always well appreciated. I've got them all. Very, very nice. The paper I'm using is Tomio River. This is actually the journal that I used and that I journaled for my vacation, where I did all the planning, and all of my thoughts are here, that some of which I've shared with you, and that will be sharing with you in the 3 episodes on my fountain pen vacation. So there you have it, Tomio River. So let's see what this pen with this beautiful, now just want to show you the nib here. It's a Ultraflex dual tone steel fountain pen Revolution. This is the extra fine. So let's go. Wow. So Fountain Pen Therapy presents the RANGA Model 3 in Ultem. The ink, and let me get the bottle because I'll never get this right. It's the Iroshizuku Shin Ryoku. Now, I'm not a flex guy. Let me just move in a little bit with my pen. So I'm not getting this nib to do the magic that, for example, a Shack MD could provoke. But having said that, the paper I'm using is Tomo A River, the original, not the Sanson. Okay, and The nib is just absolutely exquisite. As you could see, you can either very lightly or draw quite a bit of line variation. Very rarely railroads unless you push it too much. It can give you that fine line or it can give you that thicker line. So this is something that I really recommend to you folks, to try these Fountain Pen Revolution nibs. I've been raving about them for some time, and I think the pen is just works very nicely with this nib, I find. 10 on 10 with this Ultraflex. Now, you know, Ranga doesn't make their own nibs, so I can't, however, say that every nib that I've purchased that actually comes with a pen you order from Ranga is well tuned. Now, do they do their specific tuning of the nibs or not? If they don't, I've lucked out, because I've never gotten a nib from, I don't believe so anyway, not to my recollection, from Ranga that wasn't well tuned, it didn't work or function properly. So kudos to them. But this Fountain Pen Revolution, of course, doesn't come from Ranga. But you know what? I thought I'd give this pen a little twist. And what I've noticed, just as in passing, I've compared the same nib. This is in the chrome finish. So this is the just want to test the pen for you. I railroaded a little bit there, but that's probably because my chamber's not opened. Yeah, here we go. But I can tell you, for some reason, the chrome finished Ultraflex, at least in the tube that I've ordered, appears to be a little more flexy than the dual tone. Not by much. Now, was it because... No, they're both extra flex. Yeah, they all both come in extra flex, and of course you can flex them to a double broad if you really know what you're doing. But I noticed that for some reason they're not as soft, the dual tone ones anyway. Maybe it's just the nibs that I've ordered, but I would say to you that if you got to order it, probably unless you really want to match that dual tone, I would go with the chrome. I really would go with the chrome. Now, what do I have in terms of likes and what do I dislike about the pen? Okay, likes, I like the model. I like the build quality, not the build quality, Vince. I was corrected. It's build with a D. And not with a T. So its build quality is excellent. I like that the Ultem material. I think it's very, very, very popular. I like the touch of the material. I like the look of the material. And with this Ultraflex and the size of this pen, we're in business, folks. So the price as well, and I forget what price I paid it, because it was part of an email mass mailing, if you will. But I will post it up on the screen. But as usual, those type of deals are always 10 on 10, very reasonable for a pen of this quality, handcrafted. So very, very nice. Dislikes. Look, I mean, I'm maybe biased towards Ranga just because I've had so much pleasure with their writing instruments, but I've got to tell you that I don't see, it's not applicable. There is nothing I don't dislike. Now, if I compare the old clip, that clip, and it's kind of faded now, you could argue was not the nicest of clips, but they've even managed to correct that now. So with this new clip, I really like that new clip. Yeah, very, very nice. So, you know, I've got nothing to say in terms of dislike. I like everything. I like the size of this pen. I like the fact that it can be posted if you so wish. I like the fact that you could eyedropper it if you so wish, or use a converter or a cartridge. So this is what they refer to as a 3-in-1. So there you have it. No complaints here. I like the fact that it doesn't dry on you, because there is this little chamber that they've managed to create when you seal it, that seals the nib tightly, which is nice. I like the flare. I like the balance. So just the general shape of the whole pen. There you have it. That's as complete as I can get. Is this, you know, the nib? I cannot stop raving about this fountain pen Revolution Ultraflex. I really, really recommend it. Take a look at Shaq MD's latest video, and maybe if I remember, I will post it in the description. It compares various models and various brands, and he comes to the conclusion that this is just an excellent deal that gives you that flex feeling, and at the same time, it's a daily writer. There is, you know, you could write with this pen. It's not one of those flexes that are just there for fancy calligraphy. It's an actual everyday pen. So in terms of value, and in terms of whether or not this is going to be a go-to pen, and by go-to, I was questioned on this. I mean, will this pen form part of my regular rotation 10 on 10? I know that I will use it, and I know that I'm going to go towards it, gravitate towards it very, very often. So there you have it. Let me just sign my review and cut. So there you have it, folks. I think another excellent addition to my RANGA collection. I really recommend it. The Ultem is done very well. And you know, these Ultem pens, when done with Ultem, always come at a big premium in terms of pricing. And RANGA's managed to offer at a very reasonable price, in my view. And they've added, by the way, some new resins, I noticed, that, you know, resembled a lot the primary manipulation type resins. So they're constantly innovating, providing pens in different materials. My friends at RANGA, thank you very much again. Another very, very nice pen. I recommend it, folks. So there you have it. I hope this was useful. I hope I've recommended another pen at a very reasonable price that you can all look into. If it suits your fancy, go for it. Nice people. You'll get good service from them. I can't stop raving about RANGA, and I know that I'm not the only one. So please subscribe. If you like this video, let me know. Click, 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 click. Grazie molto. And stay tuned. At this time, I believe I'm going to publish this video probably before I publish episode 2 of my ultimate fountain pen vacation. We're going to be visiting Rome and 6 different locations, fountain pen related locations, along with some sites. Stay tuned for that video. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And check out the pen haul, folks. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Take care, guys.